Sweet. All right, so this is always the most popular presentation of the day. We have a whole group of folks associated with Jen Moravec's IAAS, International Association for Astronomical Studies, out in Strasburg, Colorado. And anyway, I'm just going to hand it over. They're going to tell you all about what they're doing out there. This is incredible stuff that Jim's done. So here you go.
Hello. Thank you for having us. As he said, we are IAAS, or the International Association for Astronomical Studies, out in Strasburg, Colorado. My name is Seth Martin. I am one of the senior staff members, and I primarily work with our art team.
I'm Ella McCoubry. I am the art team lead and the research imaging lead.
My name is Kyrie, and I work on the art team with Ella and Seth.
My name is Noah, and I work on the tech team.
I'm Olivia Stevenson, and I am the aviation co-leader.
I am Tristan Martin, and I am co-lead the IT team and radio team.
I'm Violet Teachout, and I am co-lead for the tech team.
All right, so to start us all off, we're going to start with the art team section first. So a bit of a recap of what we've done so far.
Oh my god.
This is the ceiling for our radio observatory, the Ruby Payne Scott Radio Observatory, which we will go into a little bit more detail as to what it will be used for in a little bit. Then we also have the ceiling panels for the Paul Engel Optical Observatory. It's kind of hard to see, but that's because the orange lighting. The orange lights are so that we can still read like a map and not be able to compromise our dark vision inside the building. There's the other side. And then recently we've also started work on our main building as well. Our conference center has been started. Not too much progress has been made, but that should hopefully start picking up speed relatively soon. Then we've also started work on reorganizing our main work area, which if you have been down to the facility for field day, hopefully provided things go well and actually get done, there should be 4 times the amount of space in time for field day. Again, hopefully things get done.
It will be done.
Scheduling to paint.
With all the work that we're putting into our conference center, we wanted an epic, out of this world entryway. So we decided to create a space hallway. You can see some of the artwork here that is going to go up in that. It will be on both walls of the hallway as you're walking in. We'll have some extra special lighting just to make it a little extra extraordinary. We used a lot of the same techniques on this as we used for the ceiling panels for the radio observatory and the optical observatory. And while we were working on the design for this, we did realize we need to transition from our hallway into our the main room of our conference center. So we decided we're going to do an airlock. So the idea is as you're walking into the building, you'll take a nice little stroll through space, walk into the airlock, and then enter into our main building. And with that, we decided to create some doors, and Kyrie's going to tell you about that.
So all of us on the art team has decided to make the doors to make it look like you were going into a spaceship at the end of the hallway. The design was really simple, using spray paint for all the different colors and using a pencil to draw out the main designs, and then going over the lines with tape so that the spray paint wouldn't go over the lines while we were painting them. We are almost completely done with the doors, and we'll most likely be done with them within the next few weeks.
Very good. YouTube, that was 9 million words per second, you did good.
So, sorry. So the aviation team. This team has been in operation for about 8 years and is led by Coda Voth, who is not here today. These are several of the planes that the team uses. They are able to fly but are not used currently because we are still being trained, and that is why we use our tester planes. This is another one of our remote controlled planes and is the largest one on display. This is Patches, our tester plane, and we use it before we can use the planes that you saw earlier. This plane is named Patches because of the large number of repairs that we constantly build on the plane from frequent crashes. This is a ventral view of Patches. This is a 3/4 view and a dorsal view of Patches. Yep. Our future hopes for the team are putting the finishing touches on Patches, finding the engine and propeller, and finishing training. Some people ask me why I joined the aviation team, and the answer to that is one day we were working on projects, and I started off in the art team. I saw Coda working on Patches, and I offered to help her, and I've been on the aviation team ever since.
So where do they plan on flying these?
Oh, just like outside of our main work area.
They gonna build like a full-time runway?
I think so, yeah, right? Okay.
40 acres.
Well, yeah.
Don't get so out.
Okay. The auxiliary station consists of 2 meters for monitoring emergency traffic on the highways and the eastern Colorado corridor. The 72 centimeter is used for Skyhub Link's National Weather Service, NOAA for severe weather reporting, and with that we have a professional weather station which is connected to these agencies. We have an HF station which is used to monitor and assist with remote energy maritime traffic. Thank you.
So the repeater station is the Skyhub Link repeater we've got out at the our main work area near our space communications console, which will be talked about a bit later. So that is the main repeater there. We've had to have a little bit of work done on it. It just stopped working 1 week. So we were able to get it repaired and it's working now. And that is the coverage map, along with a new antenna we got put up, which significantly increased the coverage. It's worked really, really well whenever we used it. Next up is
How did you get how did you create the coverage map?
John Martin, my dad, he used, I can't remember the name of the software, but it was it just generated some coverage of, put some stuff in there and generate a coverage map. Next up is the remote station for the Tech 285. It's in the same computer rack as the Skyhub Link repeater, and it's this flex radio right up top. It's worked pretty well from what I've heard from people using it. Really low noise, works pretty well.
It works great.
Good.
Yes. Except when we get network error.
So this summer, when we got some new recruits in, including myself, we hooked up an 100-foot extendable tower, which obviously is great. The main things we're going to be setting up on this tower are 3 antennas. The first one is the Fane Dipole HF station. Then we have the Sky Hub Link repeater antenna. And then, I know all of you want this, is the 285 tech connection remote station. So raise your hand if you're in 285 tech. We're gonna be talking to me soon, be ready. Yeah. This is images of John Martin setting it up a little bit. We can see how, like there's little, like there's overlay. So it ends up extending. That's why I said it extendable in the first sentence. Now it's Tristan again. Aren't we happy?
Something she forgot to mention is she took out all of the images of her helping put up the tower.
Say, where was that picture?
It was hot and sweaty. Did not want to see that.
Next up is the Space Communications Console, which we have presented on in the past. It's in the same room as the repeater, Sky Uplink repeater, and the remote station. So on this console, we've got an ICOM 910 radio here and an FTM 400 radio. We've also got an SDR in the computer rack with all of our computers. The main thing we've done with this is we've mostly received the International Space Station is our main mile mark. One of the things we did was with the SDR. Yes, there's SDR. The International Space Station was doing a slow scan TV event a little while ago. We were able to use the SDR to receive it and record it so we can decode the signal later and we receive the images we were able to decode. We were able to get 3 images off it, and the whole event we had about 15 minutes of line of sight, so that was a really fun event. Next up, this is our ham station that we will be using. So far, we've tested a few of the radios. Violet was able to make a contact with our group signal call sign on one of the antennas, and I think it was 20 meters.
Yeah, it was 20 meters.
Yeah. So that was really fun. It was her first ever time using a radio as well. Next is the N0COT Observatory.
Hold on, he's wrong. He forgot my favorite part. The Artemis 2 mission.
Oh, fact.
Get a load of this, Scott.
There's no slides on.
Okay, so this is my bread and butter. I love NASA and Artemis 2 and all that stuff. So basically what's happening, the absolute earliest February of next year, is NASA is sending up 4 astronauts for a 10-day period around the moon. So they're not going on the moon, but they are going to the moon, which hasn't happened in over 50 years. Am I right? So
We all remember.
hey,
But anyway.
this is my funny time. But basically, what they're doing is they're testing out mainly the new Orion spacecraft, and they're setting off on the SLL, or the long nerdy version, as Jim likes, the Space Launch System. But they're basically just going around the moon. They're testing out how deep space activities can affect the body to hopefully trail a path for future travels to maybe Mars. Fun, right? Basically, what we're tracking is telemetry, which took me forever to figure out how to say. I feel like you should know that, just my dedication here. But basically what that is all the workings inside the space station are gonna tell us where the space station is, how fast it's going, how far it is, and the fun parts, how the crew is doing. So like, okay, astronaut number one's having a little high pulse, that's concerning. Or whatever medical issues they might have, public domain. Aren't we happy? Also, it tells us if all the innards are like working, so like space doesn't crash. Cause that would be very unfortunate. We don't want another one of those. Yes, Jim?
Is that the innards of the astronaut or the innards of the spacecraft?
Both. See, we're using technical terms and biological terms. We're getting fancy. Also, most of these astronauts have ham radio license, so there is a possibility that we will be able to communicate with them during one time. And who here knows what WWV is? Okay, I'm explaining it anyways because I'm bored. All that is, for the people that don't know, is an atomic clock that goes up to 25 minutes. Each minute, it tells us what time it is. So this is important for us because, well, we have like just this sudden event, we can know what we're taught, what time it was, because that's important, right? Yeah. I forgot what we're on now. What Tristan did. Ooh, Tristan. Oh, it's me again.
Okay, interject here, Violet, thank you. The Orion space capsule that was designed for this Artemis moon mission was actually designed by a young lady by the name of Stephanie Loeb, who actually was one of our students in this program.
See what Jim does? Everyone clap for Jim. We love Jim. Now we have Ruby Payne Scott Observatory. This is our radio observatory.
Whoa.
If you can't tell, that's her.
Why does she look familiar?
I'm not gonna comment on. See, this is why they don't let me on here. But basically what she did is her biggest discoveries was figuring out and discovering burst types 1 and 3, which a burst type is radio solar bursts. So like when the sun flares, you get that on radios. That's really fun. She also was was the first woman astronomical radio people, which is awesome. I'm not being sarcastic on that. That's actually like a big feat. So yay. Yeah, Noah, yippee. So inside what we did is we moved some equipment around. So you see how it's clean?
Yeah, no way.
Wasn't that before? So we can see these computers, monitors, other equipment that I don't know yet. One of these computers will hold our SID system. SID stands for sudden ionospheric disturbances. This guy thinks he's but basically what that means is when the sun acts up, for example, we have a solar flare. What it does to the ionosphere is makes electrons more dense. If you forgot 8th grade, electrons are the negative charged particles in an atom. You know, Noah, you haven't reached my level yet. With that, and for some reason that disturbs radios. So we can view those, and SID is used to view that, which I find really fun. Hold on. I already explained WWV. We're adding a station though. That's fun. More equipment moved. That's most likely going to be our SID computer. More equipment. We're getting fancy here. This is our main. I don't know what this is. I'm not here there yet. This is our long wire antenna. Basically what we're using that for is any WWV transmissions, hence why I said we have a WWV system. It will also receive any radio signals from the ionosphere. and any other deep space events. I'm excited and I love space. But we see here that I know it's a little hard to see. It's a very pretty picture though. Thank you, John. You can see that the wire is suspended from ground. Then what we did is we wound it up into a triangle. I'm like 90% sure it's like 1,760 feet.
Yes, one wire is 1,760 feet.
Oh, I'm good with numbers.
Spider trap here is what we call it, is 450 feet of wire within that trap.
Yeah. This is our alt-azimuth, which is used to track any targets for deep space. So you see these little like purple things? It's the end of the world. So they track any targets and satellites we need. And it's just like really cool to use. That's all I know about it, at least. Ooh, this is our DAP to show that we actually do work. I swear we do. And I swear. To show we actually do work here. Here are some of our system charts. So the blue right here, if you're colorblind, this is the blue one, is our WWV time sigma data. And the red here is our ionospheric data. So basically what this is saying, remember, WWV is time, ionosphere is above us. For real. So this is just showing us, you see these little like random spikes. This is showing us when we have something documented and when something happens to the ionosphere, both of these are matching, which means it's working. That's important because if it's not working, then we have another problem. Ooh, it's Ella's turn. We love Ella. She's so sweet.
That's sarcastic.
No.
Okay.
You can't.
I can never tell with you.
That's what.
So this is our Paul Engel Observatory. Something that Violet did not mention about our other observatory is both observatories were built by the IAAS staff. We've come pretty far along with this one. We recently cleaned up the insides of it, so now it's mostly just the finishing touches such as trim, painting, etc. Covering up the hole in the floor so that we don't fall through because that is pretty important.
Like I did when I had before.
No.
And then installing all the equipment, desks, chairs, technology, and of course, our telescope. We will be using our Clave telescope, which I am very excited to use. Our observatory is not currently operational, but we do already have some research lined up for it. We'll be working in cooperation with our radio astronomy building for some research, specifically deep space, variable stars, Jupiter, and closest to home, our very own moon. We're really close to done on this project, and then we'll start working on the next one, which Violet is going to tell you about.
Yeah, I bet. He's excited. Harlan J. Smith, one of our favorite professors, boss. We love you, Jim. So basically what he did is he ran a lot of universities and directed them, such as McDonald's University. Really? It's let me use my notes like I'm actually supposed to. UT Austin, and also what Ella forgot to mention, yeah, I'm pulling this card on you, is that Paul Engel was also one of Jim's bosses. So Jim's just purely enriched. He's the top level, if you may. And they worked at Pan America University, which is really fun. He also helped with the creation and initiated the creation of the Harlan J. Smith telescope. I wonder where they got that name from. Also, some of the research he did led into the creation of the Hubble telescope. That's a really big fancy one. No way. Also helped co-edited the Astronomical Journal. Now we can actually get to the stuff. This is him, if you couldn't tell, very, very nice man, as Jim stated. This, we haven't built it yet, sadly. This is our first idea for the design. We have two. I will get to the next one in just a second. This is our Celestron. Guess how many times it took me to figure out how to pronounce that one? Too many. Right here, we have the 10-foot dome, which we have already, or yes, we have built already. See, we're doing stuff. We also have spaces for any mapping or anything else we might need. But the con of this, even though we have the space to do more work, do you see how far above this telescope is from like ground level? Yeah. So the problem with that is we might maybe have a problem with reaching it, which obviously we need to operate telescopes if we want to use them.
Need a long rod.
Really no. Another con is that it would take a little bit more work to make these grooves, but again, we need space to work. We have our next version. This, it has a little space to work. Our telescope is much shorter, but we don't have space to work, but it would also be easier to build. Guess who's helping build? Woo! Brandon, my favorite. He and Kelfix Farms is getting a huge shout out today because they're amazing and they've helped us with a lot of our work we've needed. For example, with the commercial tower, if this thing will speed up. Commercial tower. I broke it again. Maybe. And I got it. How many people does it take to one over? Commercial tower. You see this little big crane thing? Yeah, we couldn't lift that up on our own. So Caltix Farms gave us Brandon and the right to go put this up on the mast. So we wouldn't have been able to put that tower up. So I want a huge round of applause for Brandon. But yeah, that's basically it. Oh wait, this is Steph.
Right?
Okay, I guess I'm closing us out then.
You missed it.
Did we? Oh.
That's the Celestron telescope that you saw that big telescope in the drawings, that's what we're using. It's very fancy, helps us with deep space and imaging. That's all I know.
It's a nice telescope.
It's a nice telescope.
Question.
All right, that's all we have as far as the presentation goes today. Are there any questions amongst the crowd?
Raise his hand first.
Over there, way over there.
What's your favorite image?
Our favorite image that we've seen through the telescope. The moon. It's pretty much, it's the moon.
No way.
It's the moon.
Huh? Yeah.
This might be a question for you or for Jim. Have the government cuts in the last year affected the program in any way in terms of losing any of the contacts that you were working with?
No response.
Kidding. No, it has not, mostly because we are completely, we're not really funded by anyone. Everything we do is purely through donations and what we as a group put in. So the government shutdown has not affected us at all, at least as far as I am aware of.
The equipment that we receive, we don't get monies from the government, we never have. I've worked out a contract with them that I don't get paid. But what they do is send us, for instance, in radio astronomy, they sent us an $80,000 receiver from the N0COT observatory, Puerto Rico. A telescope that is now considered priceless. All kinds all kinds of equipment. The radio racks, the equipment racks we have two in the space communications room. And we have two in the Ruby Payne Scott Radio Observatory. Each one of those were brand new, and they're sold by the company that manufactures them for $4,500 each. And so we get cool stuff from the government, just not the money.
Any other questions? Oh, yes?
You allow visitors.
Yeah,
What does it take? Phone call?
a phone call would be very much appreciated, but other than that, just gas and time.
And $100, I mean.
Give it to me.
That's new.
Keep the bud.
Yeah,
We've had field day. We're really good.
yeah, we've hosted a field day event several times.
Several years.
With what organization?
This one.
Ours. Oh, weird.
Yeah.
And the QRP Club.
Okay, now we can take your question.
Do you guys ever have like an open house?
Open house? I mean, that's mostly field day, but I mean,
Yeah, we will.
yeah.
Have an open house?
Yeah.
We want you to come.
We're almost done with our conference room and research library. And both the optical and radio observatory is operational now. Optical will be operational, we just gotta get the trim order to get the instrument. And when we start on our second observatory, the Arlington J. Smith. Our third observatory, we haven't named yet, that'll go for female optical astronomer. So we'll have 3 domes, 1 radio observatory, and then we have our big lab building. So yeah, we're planning on opening it up to the public events, public meetings. Whatever the community needs, we're there with them. Support their needs. So. Anyway, that's.
All right.
You got a question back here.
Over there? Where?
Thank you guys.
Too long.
It takes quite a while to build all of this. At least what we have built ourselves.
We're building the bay.
You know,
Who interprets
I'm not exactly sure how long though.
Prove it. With your, the radio? Excuse me, who interprets the data from your one observatory that's working?
That would be
Violet and I and whoever else is on the radio team will be working with all that equipment and learning to decode it and do all the research as well as maintain it and do any sort of repairs or maintenance on any equipment.
Where did you learn to, where are you learning to interpret that information?
It will be mostly from my dad and Jim Moravec, along with any other mentors that work there that knows how to do all of that.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
let's give a round of applause to all of our staff.
Thanks, guys. Awesome job, as always. And impressive work going on out there.